Okay, this is actually take 2 of episode 8. I started to do the mission that I was on with the last episode, but the problem is, I got so far through it, and then I got killed like in 4 different ways. There was no a possible way I could have completed that level. I think I'm too under leveled for the mission. I've had to load up a previous save. Um, uh, we're just going to try and level up. So at the moment, the mission is to track down a serial killer. But first, I'm going to... Wait, how much money do I have? 1,000. Oh, probably not enough. I'm going to try and upgrade my magic. Oh my god. Uh, yeah, I'm willpower, aren't I? Willpower, yeah, because charisma's for summoning, I believe. And I can't remember if I'm... Whoops. Mage clothing, yeah. Oh yeah, because I've got the power bolt, haven't I? So it's the something of 5 phases, if I remember correctly. Which is... I don't know. Oh, that looked like I could go that way. I don't know. I don't want to be running around. Oh my god. Oh, for the... Okay, what's this here? Oh, this is the Decker thing, isn't it? Maximum law, yeah. I think I need to speak to him as well, actually, now I think about it. Oh, wait. No, this is the Mahjong parlor, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, what's over here then? The reliable Matthew, yeah, no. I remember him being basically cack. Sells like nothing. Nothing. Oh, there it is. Parlor of 5 faces. Okay. Crafty shoe. A middle set. Oh, well, I think we've already done this, haven't we? So I'm just gonna skip through it. I'd like to see your wares. Okay, weapons. I can't... There's no point by the looks of it. Oh, that's... I don't know. Oh, no, god damn it. Oh, equipment, there we go. Well, I just wanted to see if it has any armor on it. No, one. Right, you. Hello. Whoops, outfits. I'll grab that. Armor. I don't think I can buy... Oh, acid stream. Oh, I've got flamethrower. Okay, okay. Tell you what, we'll just stick with the armor for now. Yeah. Okay, confirm. Thanks. What is... I was about to say. Okay, I guess I just need to do a mission or two, get some money together. What am I doing? And then I'm assuming after I do a mission I'll get access to some more spells. Come on, there we go. Oh my god, the collision on this game. Although to be fair, it's better played on PC. And I'm playing this on PS4, as the tags have suggested. Plus the very obvious triangle in the bottom right corner and the options. MTR station. Oh, it's here. Okay. Whoops. Board train. I'm guessing. Oh god. Head to One Power Garden to discover who's killing the One Power and Elders. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh. God for. Did I already do this? I don't think I did I? Outside of One Power Garden, requirement neon rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steamed buns, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Someone thing stalks these streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Wampoan elders, the leaders of the band of tech-savvy squatters that have claimed his neighbourhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and as Wampoans you pass in the MTR station have a haunted, furtive look in their eye. While the killer has struck only at the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are menaced as well. Ooh. Oh, I've got, yeah, just carry on. Streets of Vampire Garden are slick with rain, glittering under the neon glow of myriad signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painting the white apartment blocks the sickly orange of sodium streetlights. The smell of grilling meat mingles with other rarer scents, ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear the calls of the street vendors and touts urging people into their stores. Isabel wrinkles her nose, scowling darkly. She wraps her arms tightly around her chest, staring off into the distance. Is there a word for feeling nostalgic for a place you can't wait to leave again? I don't miss this place, but I miss the feelings I had when I lived here. Swadard, maybe? I don't know what that means. Isabel shakes her head. No, that's not it. It's close, but... She lets the sentence trail off into nothingness, clamping her mouth shut for a moment. Isabel sighs heavily. This place seemed like heaven, after the walled city, like the whole world had unfurled in front of me, and anywhere I turned there was the promise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as crappy as everywhere else. Everyone was still in it for themselves. Gobbit claps her hand on Isabel's shoulder, who flinches and pulls away. That's a great life lesson is. I'm serious. At the end of the day, life's a raw deal. You've got yourself and a handful of friends, and that's it. Nothing else. Duncan casts a sidelong glance at Isabel and Gobbit, shaking his head. You got some strange ideas about life. Sure, life's a meat grinder, but come on. There's got to be more to life than just surviving. Yeah. Does there? What makes you the authority on that? Isabel waves a dismissive hand. I'm done talking about this anyway. Isabel turns towards you and points down the street to your left. We're looking for the Wampoan elders. They're going to be in the Wampoa itself. That's the big ship down the street. That's them all shaped like a boat, right? Isabel nods, lips pursed. That's the one. Somebody thought it would be clever to make a uniquely shaped mall. Is it really uniquely shaped if he's not just dead, he's been all cut up? What? What's going on here? The others oh. Ah. Okay. Let's oh, I just realised I haven't actually looked at myself. Come on. Oh. I don't know what I look like. Okay. Hello. Elder Ng. This orc woman is festooned with small circuits, tiny trid screens and speakers. The trid screens display snippets of trid broadcast from every corner of the world. The tiny speakers play counterpoint with a susurrus of voice-speaking Sparethial, Punjabi, Kazakh and other languages. Her expression is haggard and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Sparethiel, that's the elf language, I think. Welcome to the Wampower, my friend. I am Elder Ng, and these are Elders Tang and Ip. Ng gestures to the elf and human, who each incline their heads respectively. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We had nowhere else to turn. It's the least I could do. Under Tang's skin, glowing tattoos writhe and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move on to dragons. We're under threat, one by one. We elders are being hunted by some monster, as you may have noticed when you arrived. There's been another killing just tonight. Ip crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over their surface, displaying diagnostic information about their state, operating temperature, servo pressure, and a variety of other minutiae. He looks past you towards Isabel. The prodigal daughter returned once more. I didn't expect to see you back board the Wampower in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yetunde was very put out. I'm glad you're still alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I still understand why you had to leave. Ip pauses, tasting the air as he chooses his next words with care. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. Didn't expect to be back either. Work takes you places, though. Isabel shrugs. A moment later, she places a hand on her pistol, eyes trained on the Ip's shoes. I don't cart this around for fun, Ip. The lessons kept me alive. Isabel blinks several times and then looks up at Ng, her expression clouded. Where is Yetunde anyway? I expected her to be here. I'm guessing... Ng shakes her head slowly. She reaches out a hand towards Isabel, who shrinks away from it. She's dead. So are Gan and Nakamura, and Tong was killed just last night. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. Isabel's expression remains impassive, but her knuckles grow white as her hands ball up into fists. That's what we're here for. We'll stop the killings. I certainly hope so. Thank you, Isabel. Lifts a hand, wiping away tears from her eyes. What can you tell me about the murders? It started 2 weeks ago. The first to go was Gan. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. Swallows, grimacing at the painful memory. He'd been torn apart, his head had been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood, it took us a week to clean out his apartment. Jesus Christ. Tang nods, running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same. Always at night, always dismembered. Each scene is like a nightmare. And every time, nobody has seen anything. It's like a ghost. What happened to Tong? The same thing that happened to the rest of the victims. Evisceration and dismemberment. We sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He'd locked up his shop, but Ip stopped by to ask him about some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked, and inside... lifts her hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. Seeing Ng's inability to continue, Ip takes over. Inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown, because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you call the police? The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before, or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favours for local gangs and triads, handle their matrix security, fix up their gear, and make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. We're too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the HKPF or anyone else decides we're an easy target. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send the messages via the Matrix. The last time the HKPF made trouble, we started airing the Assistant Chief's dirty laundry over the Trid. They got the picture and backed off. You made any enemies lately? Shrugs helplessly. None that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We're not mercenaries or criminals. We're merchants and deckers. And even if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Yeah, no joke. Whatever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery. It's a monster, whatever it is. Man, plenty of meta-humans are monsters too. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. What did one power elders do? Isabel snorts derisively. They make the rules and kick people out who don't obey them. They're a bunch of petty tyrants, that's what. Okay. No love lost. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. Tongue turns to address you. We keep the One Power and its residents safe. We review trade agreements with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide a guiding vision. Like a town council. Oh man. Rules are made to be broken. Elder Ip laughs, quickly stifling it as and Tang give him a dirty look. I can see why Isabel is on your team. You and she are very much alike, I suspect. I am the invoker of sprites. I commune with the spirits of machines, ask them for blessings, and pass those blessings on to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be, given our confines. She's a shaman, that's all. She's just got some kooky spin on it. Claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Isabel pats her deck, looking at Ng. Ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck, it's mine. I built it. The only spirits it's got in it are the ESBs I loaded it up with. Gives Isabel a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean that it does not exist. Just because you do not believe in it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I can't touch programs either, but at least I can prove they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstitions are just that. Bullshit. Isabel glances at you, jerking a thumb towards Tang. This guy treats drones like they're living things. Is that right? Tang extends his arms, palms up. As you watch, the tattoos they are in shift into a complex mathematical formula. I am the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed AutoFab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. As for me, I serve as the resplendent voltage spike. Ip smiles crookedly. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. Okay, that's all for now. It might be wise to ask the residents of Wampower Garden if they've seen or heard anything. After you've gone to Tong's Sensory Carnival, they may have seen or heard a few things we have not. Okay. So, I've just walked into an arcade. I think I have. Let's get some DDR going. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah. So something is just absolutely ripping these people to shreds. Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna have to. Probably gonna have to. No, you know what? Let's set up onto the garden. This. Oh, okay. Sensory Carnival. Portal Lamb at your service. The elders told me that you'd be coming. They tell you about what happened to Tong? You got killed earlier tonight, yeah? Killed. Ha! That's rich. Killed is when a BTL head sticks a knife in you for your cred stick, or the cops put 2 in your chest for not kissing up hard enough. This is something else entirely. This isn't killed. This is slaughtered like a fatted calf. Watch yourself. It's a goddamn mess in there. Okay. Let's have a look. Tong's Sensory Carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. The cloying scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remains of Elder Tong littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order, at least at first glance. Nothing is broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Tong's body is isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drying blood is spread about the walls and ceiling as well. What the fuck? Bloody wall. The walls are covered in splattered and smeared blood, most of which has hardened into a crusty congealed paste. Beautiful. Thick tracks of it run laterally. It looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. Huh? Hey Vivi, I don't know a whole lot about science or all that, but I know what blood looks like when it hits a wall. This isn't natural. Somebody deliberately smeared blood all over these walls. See how it looks like it's got paint trails? That's because somebody used Tong's parts like a brush. So they painted his walls with blood? Why? Do I look like a psychologist to you? Maybe because they're a freak. Maybe they're one of those sick serial killers that sees their murders as art. I got no clue. All I know is what normal blood looks like on a wall, and this ain't it. Some people have a bad grasp of art. I knew this guy in Kwantung who used to make music out of stray radio static and panic button calls. Called it Crisis Wave. It was awful. Okay. Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognisable, and what is left of his body would best be described as savaged. Does look kind of a mess. All of his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of the Wampoan elder. The Wampoan's clothing has all been reduced to rags. Oh, all but being reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears, apparently sustained during the flaying. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fibre optics of his cyberware. Gobbit puts a hand over her mouth, speaking in an uncharacteristically serious tone. Sweet heaven, Vivi. I haven't seen anything like that since Auntie Wong tried to stash some cred sticks in a devil rat's nest. It takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. I'll second that. This isn't a murder. This is more like, I don't know, a feeding frenzy. If it weren't for the skin, I'd say Tong stepped on a goddamn mine or something. Use astral perception to sense the body. Let's Taking a deep breath, you allow your senses to expand into astral space. The colours of the room bleed away, replaced with the vibrant lights and emotions of the spirit world. Surprisingly, no emotions of fear or anger pervade the room. The abiding emotion the room is steeped in is one of the perfunctory satisfaction, as if someone had accomplished an important task. It would seem likely that Tong was surprised. If he was not, it would be certain that you would feel lingering fear within the room. Whoa, really? Gobbit takes a moment to centre herself and stares off into space. Shortly thereafter, she shakes her head and looks back at you. That's strange, Vivi. You're right, though. He definitely didn't see it coming. So he didn't see it coming, and then pretty much got gibbed. Had you not... say it's bathroom. Tong's bathroom is immaculate, and the drains are tiny. Whatever killed him didn't exit through here. Desk safe. Tong's desk drawers are open, and the safe that's built to one side has been opened. There's no sign of tampering, and the green light next to the word unlocked is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with a key fob. Inside are several blank cred sticks, but no sign of any money on them. Looks like someone looted his stash. A guy like this wouldn't keep only empty cred sticks in his safe. SimSense editor. There's the Yamaha 95,000V SimSynth, a device for mixing and mastering SimSense chips. Several drive bays are empty and all of the chip jacks are empty. The screen is flashing a repeated error message. Warning, requested files cannot be found. Please return drives to bay and try again. Come on, Isabel, debug the SimSynth. Isabel rattles out some commands on the SimSynth keyboard, stepping away after a few seconds with a look of satisfaction on her face. There, I've put the drive warning on suspend. It's in diagnostic mode only though. Maybe we'll learn something, maybe not. Yeah, memory okay, drive error, assist bus okay, beginning core dump, please wait. The long debug spew that scrolls across the synth screen along the synth screen is filled with numbers indicating recent files, play lengths, keyframes and assist peak levels. Based on the numbers you're seeing, Tong's SimSynth has been hacked to remove the peak controller levels from the chips he's been burning. The required operation to make BTL chips. The delta wave outputs for these chips push them dangerously into brain burning territory. Oh jeez. The file catalogue for the high peak BTLs indicate all the files and burned chips should be stored on the missing drives and whatever was in the empty chip jacks. Somebody cleaned out Tong's BTL stuff. Pretty sure BTL is better than life, isn't it? That's what it stands for. Anything else? Anything? No? Okay. Let's just hop out. Oh. Hello, Zippy. This orc is busily snacking on a steamed bun. As you approach, he wipes off one of his hands and sticks it towards you. Hey stranger, nice to see you. Zippy Toe Tag at your service. What a name. How are you liking Wampower Garden? Nice to meet you, bro. Nice to meet you too. Listen, I know it's a little forward of me just to say hello and whatnot, but I'm interested in giving you a hand if I can. Zippy gestures expansively at the squalid neon-lit streets of Wampower Garden. This is my home, at least for the time being, and I'd like to stop these killings. We've never met before this, but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The elders had me autopsy what was left of the Elder Gan and Elder Nakamura after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. You wimp. So since I don't know you, and I can smell a Shadowrunner a mile away, you've got to be the outsider they asked to stop the killings, right? Zippy tilts his head back, obviously pleased at his amateur well done. See, I have good eyes, a lot of good eyes actually. If you're in the market for replacements, only slightly used, and they only come from certified donors, I swear. A hearty belly laugh erupts from the orc, and he slaps one of his thighs in elation. Man, I kill myself. That was awful. Zippy shrugs, grinning wide. I know, I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but all my jokes are terrible. So if you're not a comedian, what are you? I'm one of the only trained surgeons around here. I keep the other Wampoans healthy. Gotta practice down the road. Blind Chen's a pretty good cyber doc, but he's basically an implant specialist and that's it. How'd you end up here? I did my residency back in the UCAS. Could have become a real MD too, if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reasons. Zippy opens his coat, revealing a cyber deck. He pats it proudly. Yeah, I also deck a little, but I'm better at slicing skin than I see. Wampower Garden seemed a good fit for me. See you around, mate. You're boring me. I don't know. Just don't feel safe here anymore. Well, yeah, no joke. If people are getting literally eviscerated by most likely someone as opposed to something. Okay, I guess I gotta speak to you as well. The man in front of this stall is rooting through a box of music chips with the swift fingers of someone who knows what they're looking for. Behind him, a music player pumps out a constant stream of distorted, atonal music. The stall's proprietor is nowhere to be seen. Looks like he's got duct tape on his head. Can you believe this? They've got 4 bootlegs of Echelon 60, the unreleased Enoch Ian Keys double chip show from Brazzaville, but absolutely 0 chips from Shotgun Bloom. This stall's stuff is purely second rate. Hey man, don't get down on Echelon 60. I saw them when they played at that unlicensed show at the old Choco Tart factory out in Suan. The show was amazing, even if the police had to break it up midway through the second act. Wow, my eyes are all over the place. The music aficionado waves his hand dismissively. The show might have been great, but come on, Echelon 60's old news. They're already being mainstreamed. I saw a Trid ad for the new Mitsubishi Ostro scooter, and they were using Main Vault Underbus as the backing music. Made me sad, I tell you. Your Decker inclines his head politely towards you. Mo Janebi, at your service. Decker, technologist, music fan. You're not from around here, are you? You don't hold yourself like a native. Not One Power Garden, no. Mo runs a hand through his very short hair, shaking the collected rain off of it. I thought so. What brings you out here? Trying to find out who's been killing the elders. The Decker pauses a moment, face falling. Oh, that's a nasty business. I heard Tong died tonight. I don't know who or what they pissed off, but it seems like a really bad scene. Trying to keep my nose out of it. Still, I like this place. Is there anything I can do to help? Know anything about the murders? Trying to stay as far away from it as possible. I'm not connected enough to hear anything important, and all the talk about monsters is just plain dark. I'm not afraid of monsters. I don't want to get their attention. All I know is that a couple of months ago we had elders Nakamura, Yetunde, and Gan, and Magpie, and now we don't. Magpie? Never heard of Magpie. Well, Magpie may not be related. She disappeared a month or so ago, just up and closed her shop one night, and nobody ever heard from her again. Zippy thinks she's on vacation, but I don't know. These killings started right after she disappeared, so maybe she's in hiding and is taking care of the other elders one by one. Why would she do that? To be blunt, she's a hateful, shrewish old badger of a person. It was always her way or the highway. She'd butt heads with the other elders over damn near anything. The last fight she had was with Tang over something or other. I guess she ended up throwing some of his micro drones into a deep fryer and threatening to kick his ass around the block. What was the line of business? Matrix gear. Her shop's called the Jackpoint. Not very imaginative, I know. She always had the hottest programs, best chips, and made some killer decks for anybody willing to pay her rates. Anybody willing to pay her rates. It cost plenty of yen, but she was one of the best in the business, at least in Hong Kong. If you want to know more about her, you should talk to Zippy. He's one of the only people around here who got along with Magpie. You can probably find him by the MTR station. He loves the steam bun cart over there. Okay, thanks. Gonna go and speak to Zippy now and be like, yo, why didn't you tell me about this other person? Zippy. Can you tell me more about Elder Magpie? Sure, what do you want to know? How did Magpie and the other elders get along? Magpie and the other elders never saw her right away. She was contrary for the sake of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision for what they wanted this neighbourhood to become. Magpie just wanted to deck. She was only an elder because they needed someone with her matrix chops. The last big argument was between her and Ip and Nakamura. It was over something relatively trivial. I think Nakamura wanted to expand the pirate trade business into the Matrix, and she just absolutely refused. Why did she refuse? She said something about not using up valuable bandwidth for trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyway, it went from there into this rant about how she wasn't going to let Tang expand his drone business any further because it would get too much megacorp attention. They accused her of blocking them just because she could, which is probably true. Lots of screaming. What do you mean blocking them? Everybody needs her matrix skills for their business to run properly. There are other deckers, me, say, or Joe Manebi, but she had the infrastructure. If their project didn't interest her, she wouldn't even give them the time of day. She was real hard-headed about having her time wasted, but she figures if she's not interested in something, it has no value objectively. Kind of a major blind spot if you ask me. Sounds like she was critical. Yes and no, she was, but since she disappeared, Elder Ip's taken over running the Matrix infrastructure. He's not as good at it as she was, but his experience with drones makes him the best candidate. I wouldn't entrust something like that to anyone who wasn't an elder. So there you go. Tell me more about Elder Magpie. Where do you think she went? No idea. One day she was here, the next Puff. At first I thought she was just on vacation, since she had mentioned wanting to see the Kingdom of Hawaii one day, but it didn't feel right. She would have at least told me she was leaving. Seems mighty suspicious to me. Nobody else seems to care what happened to her, probably because she pissed them all off so bad. Is there any place you think I should start looking? You might want to check out a shop. That's literally what I was trying to do. It's all locked up, but the other elders have a spare key. Couldn't hurt to look around, and even though Magpie was always butting heads with the other elders, they wouldn't have any reason not to let you in. What do you mean they were butting heads? Magpie and the others... Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, we went through all this. No wonder they were mad. Yeah, you're telling me. I like the old coot, but she was a handful at the best of times. Yeah. Could you let me into a shop? No, can do. Not because I don't want to, but because I just don't have the key. You have to get it from Ip. He's taken over all the Matrix infrastructure and maintenance since Magpie disappeared. He's not as good as she is, or as I am, but they're not going to let anyone who isn't an elder take care of that kind of critical stuff. Okay, see you later, dude. Right, so we are... Well, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to save it, and in the next episode we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find out who this Magpie is, where they've gone, if they're even still alive, that is, and then let's see if it's an actual monster or she's just figured out a way to gib them. Oh, like I don't know. We'll see. See you, a bit.